Third Sunday of Advent, Cycle C. The community's action in solidarity and Association Jesus Solidarity invite you to listen to the living gospel. Today, December 15, let us meditate on the gospel according to Luke, chapter 3, verses 10 to 18, with commentary from Father PatxiLoidi in the voice of Chi Liquicia. Proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to St. Luke. The crowds asked John the Baptist, "What should we do?" He said to them in reply, "Whoever has 2 cloaks should share with the person who has none, and whoever has food should do likewise." Even tax collectors came to be baptized, and they said to him, "Teacher, what should we do?" He answered them, "Stop collecting more than what is prescribed." Soldiers also asked him, "And what is it that we should do?" He told them, "Do not practice extortion. Do not falsely accuse anyone, and be satisfied with your wages." Now the people were filled with expectation, and all were asking in their hearts whether John might be the Christ. John answered them all, saying, "I am baptizing you with water, but one mightier than I is coming. I am not worthy to loosen the thongs of his sandals. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. His winnowing fan is in his hand to clear his threshing floor and to gather the wheat into his barn, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire." Exhorting them in many ways, he preached good news to the people. The word of the Lord. Father Patxi's commentary. Dear friends of the living gospel, Christmas is on the way. The expenses of 20% of the society's wealthiest have shot up, and the next 20% are making their calculations, while the remaining 60% are full of anxiety to the point of despair. The Baptist is accompanying us through the malls and telling us, "Are you going to spend on clothes? Spend them for the poor people. Are you going to reserve lechon and cakes? Make another reservation for a poor household." And if someone says, "We cannot, we are in crisis," the Baptist immediately replies, "Increase your crisis, diminish the crisis of the poor." Let us look at John surrounded by the multitudes who ask him what they should do. Why don't we also ask ourselves the same question, even if we know the answer? It is such a simple answer, valid for all times and for all kinds of people. Who has 2 jackets? Give one to somebody who doesn't have. It is the fundamental rule of Jesus, which the Baptist anticipates. Love with action. Become a neighbor to those who do not have and are powerless. Yes, to becoming a neighbor, as Jesus taught in the parable of the Samaritan. But there is a striking absence in John's exhortation. He does not say a word about God. What will the believers think, they who put a dent in the good deeds of non-believers because they don't do them for God? But brothers, where does the gospel set the standard? Not in this passage, not in the parable of the final judgment, not in the parable of the Samaritan. Of course, we are interested in God and His envoy, Jesus Christ. If not, why do I write this and why do you read this? But let's not forget that important observation. John does not forget the need to fulfill our obligations. He says it with varying words to each group that approaches him. But let's not dwell on this alone. Let's unite it to what we said before. With the fulfillment of my obligations, I do not fulfill the primary and unavoidable duty to help. defend and liberate the poor people, and to change society by making it just, solidary, and egalitarian. Listen now to John's humble statement: I am not the Messiah. I am not even worthy to untie the strap of his sandals. When a great person came riding into the city, the page would release the straps to help him get off the horse. And John says that he is not worthy to perform that humble service to the Messiah. He marks well the superiority of Jesus, and he riveted it with this affirmation: My baptism is only of water, but the one who comes after me will baptize you with the Spirit. Humility is not easy. Let us then look at John. Good gospel to prepare us for Christmas and celebrate it Christianly. Prayer. Get out of the desert again. John, come. Shout, it's night. There are millions of lamps, but it is a dark night. Like a wolf's mouth. There are alms, prophet, but squalid. Crises give the green light to selfishness. Money attracts more money, never enough. To whom? To whom do they justify it? Come to light the blind, remove the innocence of the naive, and pierce the brain of the foolish. Let them learn that the waters of the crisis only reach the sand on the beach. They are far away from the towering mansions. Come out of the desert again and cry out by the Jordan River and its cities, corrupted today by gutless progress. Do not mind that many of our cries are taken by the waters and run dead into the lifeless sea, or that others get lost among so many fatuous lights and hide the miseries of these ugly Christmases, which attract the shepherds no more. Other people will come from east and west, and from the devastated African lands, in search of the one you announced. And they will listen to your passionate preaching, and they will tread the footsteps of your friend, endorsing his examples and teachings.